Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time around we had Heavy Forecast Part 3, where, essentially we had the confrontation between Weather Forecast and Father Pucci, and it was an interesting fight, but in the end, fate basically intervened when Weather had him right where he wanted him, and unfortunately, Pucci was able to kill Weather and get away. However, before that happened, Weather did sneakily use Pale Snake in order to remove Weather Forecast from himself as a disc, and that was passed on to Jolene now. So, yeah. Anywho, that was pretty much that. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go.
Destiny is mine.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Honestly, okay. So, had a little weird period for a while, but now we're getting into some good stuff. Snails notwithstanding. Forget the snails. We're past the snails. Let's get some good stuff now. Yes! Okay, so what is this, man? Some weird... I mean, it seems to be both Pale Snake and the Green Baby, so... It seems to have a different voice, but it seems like this is a new thing. You know? I mean... Okay. There is the idea that while Pucci still has Pale Snake, if he is combined with the Green Baby, the Green Dio Baby thing, then this... Let me try to put it like this. You have Pucci with Pale Snake, you have the baby with his stand, but now that they've combined into one thing, that doesn't necessarily mean they have lost their original stance. So the Pucci half of it still has Pale Snake, but the both side of it now has this. Is that it? Ugh. I don't know. That was a lot of nonsense I just said, but it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not going to put it past them. So, something like that. I don't know. New stand, gravity problems. Man, it's so simple. But this is good. I mean, it's essentially just a gravity stand, you know? Oh, that's what I was thinking. Because when her arm started to get, hit by the stronger gravity, I was like, what does that remind me of? Oh, it reminds me of Act 3. Because that was his thing. Once they ditched the sound part of Act 3 and completely ruined that stand, then they made it, then he made it as, it's gravity. Which was the dumbest thing ever and completely ruined reverb or echoes or whatever you want to call it. So, but here, this whole thing is gravity, and that's really cool, And honestly, I like the idea. Again, it's just so simple, but it's a really good power, Like, that's a really damn good power. I like, though, that I just love the use of it, where it's, yes, it is gravity, but I love changing the gravity of something, and that, which essentially is just all it is, and now turning everything sideways. So gravity is not coming from the center of the earth, where, which would pull you down onto the ground. Now he has shifted it to be somewhere south of Cape Canaveral, thus everything is falling. It seems like he can't change the gravity of, like, the whole planet, But he's just, because it's a very isolated area. There is stuff, obviously, but the the visitor center at Cape Canaveral has not completely, torn apart yet. So either that or, gravity is just not, it's not strong enough, So, like, to me, I would imagine that the gravity that is pulling them south of Cape Canaveral, I would imagine it must only be as strong as Earth's gravity, and for such a big area, that would make sense. And for something as such a small area as just around Jolene's arm, he can put on more power, At least that would be my guess. But yeah, that's such an interesting thing. I like it, And I like, honestly, they have stands that kind of work with this, Jolene can, use Stone Ocean to sort of Spider-Man around, and Anastasia has Diver Drive, which he can go through stuff, So that's really, really interesting. Poor Hermes, unfortunately. Hope she's okay back there. I guess there's no reason to think that eventually Hermes and everything will fall out of the gravity, basically. Fall out of that, the stand's effect, basically. Now, granted, that means everything's just gonna, hit the Earth. But, I mean, she's resourceful. She can probably survive all of that. So, that would be my guess. If the effect is just over Cape Canaveral itself, So, but I mean, it's definitely coming from him. So, it's his new stand, which is crazy. But, I don't know. It would be good if at the last second they could get Hermes' weather forecast, because then she could fly up there, So, which I guess we also had a gravity stand earlier in Part 6, didn't we? Yeah. But that was just an anti-gravity thing. This is changing where gravity is, basically. So I guess that's a good distinction. So, yeah, it was Jumpin' Jack Spark, or Jumpin' Jack Flash. So yeah, that was interesting. Excuse me. I love the whole thing with Anastasia in the ring. That was funny. Where he's just like, oh, she's so cute and everything. When she wakes up, I'll tell her how I really feel. And the first thing she does is throw that ring at an alligator. Just for no reason. For some, they're just hating on alligators. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I mean, I guess they've had alligator encounters, at the prison, but I don't know, it's just weird. So yeah. So that was funny. I will say it is interesting. I get the whole thing of Jolene needs to, make a move, needs to do this kind of on her own, and not rely on Jotaro to come rescue her. But then Anastasia's like, oh, but I'll be the one. You'll see that you don't need weather or your father. You need me. And it's like, okay, buddy. All right, Romeo. But yeah, it's like, while yes, I would love Jotaro to come back and, help out in the fight. Yeah, I would like for Jolene to be able to do this on her own. But the thing is, it's kind of, I mean, it is kind of getting to the Josuke thing of all right, so here's our villain with 25,000 powers, and our hero has the same power they've had the whole part. However, Josuke, did I say Jotaro? I meant Josuke. Josuke unequivocally won that fight with Kira. So I'm hoping we get to do that again, I'm hoping that, and honestly, I'm hoping for a fight, No matter how this goes down, I hope there is a genuine fight between Jolene and Pucci, because I still feel like I was robbed of that at the end of Part 5, I was robbed of Giorno versus Diavolo, Hang on. I'm actually trying to... Wow, okay. I'm now so far from Part 5 where it's like, dang it, I can't even remember what Diavolo looked like. Because you know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing Anastasia. It's like Anastasia looks like Diavolo, who already looked like a Bacchio to an extent. So now I'm sitting here like, I can't... Oh, they kind of had a similar shirt, didn't they? Or maybe lack of shirt, you know? Yeah, I can't think. It's like all I'm picturing is all I'm picturing is Anastasia now. They definitely look a little too similar, but anyway, that's just a quick aside. But yeah, so hopefully we get a good... I mean, I guess this kind of counts. You know. This I guess is similar to Jotaro and Koichi versus Sheer Heart Attack, you know, which Josuke didn't really fight because Josuke just had the out for that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I hope there is a true confrontation, a true stand fight between Jolene and Pucci. But this is already a good start because this seems to be a new stand that Pucci has, you know? So, I don't know. But yeah, good stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. We're definitely back on. Like, since, like, I was a bit worried. I was a bit worried for a bit that I was going to be like, well, it's not bad after they leave the prison, but it's not as good. But now, like, pretty much since the backstory with Weather and Pucci, it's like, okay, now we are hitting. We are good. Let's ride this to the end. And if we can ride this to the end, can part 2 finally be dethroned? Depends on what kind of ending we have here. That's going to be the question. If part 6 can stick the landing, I may have to... at the very least, I'll put it on level with part 2, you know? But we're so close. And you know, part 5 for me came really close to part 2. And if part 5 had the ending of part 4, I would have declared part 5 the best part in all of JoJo. It's really close. And if part 6 can stick the landing, I think I might just have to... At the very least, it'll probably be a tie. But we'll have to see. We have... 7 more episodes. 7 more episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Then we'll have to move on to something else until part 7 finally gets adapted, so... But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.